There we
Me and Chris have basically just been catching up while we were waiting on you, but we realized my Christmas lights went out on this side. Look
Aw.
at that. Look at that. I only got half of them.
Well,
Unlike Chris's setup, which is absolutely freaking pristine.
yeah, that is pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
Is that a 3D printer back there?
It is not. I totally wish. It's just a basic printer.
See, I don't even have a color printer. That's a black and white back there.
Okay, so mine. Oh, you can see it. That's a colored printer. It with a scanner on top. It's gone out. It's just a paperweight right now.
You should Office Space it.
I want to get this year. My goal is to get a 3D printer.
Well, Brad and I have been talking about. So hold on, I'll come back to that. So right
Okay.
now, anytime you try and print to it, it just says printer head not found. Like
Printer
you
head
open
not
it up to like try and see if the thing will slide in with all the like it doesn't do anything. It's just like
Oh, no.
whatever. So we've got to get a new one. But anyways, I had to go to the UPS store the other day to print something. I had to print a mailing label, and I was like, had to email it to them. It's the whole thing. Okay, so what are you planning to 3D print? These are important questions.
Drawer organizers.
Really?
Gridfinity?
Just like perfect ones that fit.
Yes. Also, just anything. There's so many little things. Like there's just, I don't know. I just want to print.
I need
things.
battery holders. I'm going
Right.
into rechargeable batteries
Yeah.
now, and I was on Amazon looking at the battery daddy. Thanks, West Boss. And I was like, I could just 3D print this for like exactly my setup. Like, I don't think I need a
Yeah.
bunch of 9-volt battery holders, and I want it smaller, and just add a project onto the list. And like I said, if that list hits a certain number, I got to pull the trigger. But it's just not there yet.
I watched some YouTube video where a guy was like, I needed these things, and instead of going to the store, I printed everything. And it was like everything from like a clothes hanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Gabby this yesterday. We just bought like 50 clothes hangers, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could have printed those.
Yeah. Well, the ones that he had were pretty cool too, because they were collapsible.
Right. Yep. See?
And so they just like fold in. I'm
Ah.
like, you could travel with that if you wanted. But anyways, yeah, kind of cool.
Neat.
My kids would go crazy. There's a boy at the street that's best friends with my son, and he went to a robotics or like a 3D printing camp this summer, and they built a 3D printer. I don't know the quality of it. I think they just like gave him all the parts, and they assembled all of it. And then like they printed things at camp, and Isaac was so mad that he didn't get to go, but it conflicted with our family vacation.
Oh no.
But since then, like his whole family has gotten in on 3D printing, and so they've bought a nicer one that's like a bamboo. But he will print fidget spinner stuff and like give them to Isaac. And some of them are pretty cool though. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff.
This is what I've been thinking, like, as far as like toys, first of all, I don't want my kids to just use these as like random things. Where the heck is here it is. Cyber Brick, they're called. So you buy these little kits, you 3D print the vehicles, and the kit that it comes with is like the microcontroller and the servos and the motors for these things. So with this one kit, like the electronics,
Yeah.
you can build like many, many, many different things because it's just like a controller, right? And the controller knows how to like spin the servo, move the motor. So you could make like soccer playing robots or a construction set
What?
or race cars out of the same set of electronics. And like that's what I want these things to be, is like projects. Lean me more into electronics, like not just like print crap and like waste PLA.
These
That's
are
my
really
word.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And of course, it's all like open source. So like the Maker World community
Mm.
is taking these electronics and continuing to build like things around them. Essentially, you've got the brains. You
Yeah.
could just change what it looks like.
That is
I feel like
so cool.
Isaac would totally be into this.
My nephews would love this.
Yeah.
That is so cool. How are
Yeah,
you?
it's been-
I realized I have not been with y'all on this podcast since 2024.
Oh, well, It's a little
There's
bit of
name-
exaggeration because we're only 1
It
week
just
into
turned
2026.
2026.
But James had just left, I think, when you came
Yeah.
on.
No, he was on when I was there.
But we pulled him back in. He was technically he left.
Oh, that's right, because it was on what we were doing with his stuff.
Yeah.
We did
It
that
may have been the
time.
last show he recorded with us.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah. Well, we need to have him back
I
on.
still smile every time I hear him rap the intro.
Mm-hmm.
He says hi, by the way. I told him this morning.
Aw.
He invited me to a meeting. I'm like, I'm on the compressed podcast today. He goes, oh my
You
gosh,
heard-
I haven't talked to them in forever.
You should be like, have you heard of it? It's
You
really
know,
good.
It's a really good podcast.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Well, do you want to go and get started?
Get it going.
Brad, this Cybertruck thing or Cyberbrick thing might.
Is that
might
going to
do it
tip the
for me.
scales? Is that going to tip the scales?
I don't think so, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Also, Chris, since you also have a King Charles Cavalier, we've been eyeing a Cavapoo. I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna do it though.
I know. They're adorable.
Oh my goodness.
Our dog just had babies. Her second
Again?
litter. Yeah,
my
it's her
goodness.
second and last litter.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, her
They're
last
supposed to do
one.
it back to back. It's supposed to be like
Oh.
the healthiest for them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So 4
Wow.
girls, 2 boys. We get to go see her Friday. Is the first
Okay.
time. The puppies will be 2 weeks old.
Oh,
Oh.
so sweet.
It's super cute.
Yeah, so I don't know what we'll do. We said no for now, but who knows. Also, we are do you get to name them, Brad?
No, the
Uh,
like the breeder person will
breeder
name them.
does,
Or
but-
actually the breeder doesn't really give them names. She like puts a bow on them, like a
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
bow
yeah.
tie, and just calls it like the pink girl or the blue boy, and like that's it. You know, it's up to the owners. But one of the puppies is coming home with my brother-in-law. So
Amazing.
now they can like play and hang out. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
What kind of
Uh,
dog do you have?
It's a golden doodle.
Okay.
It's a mini.
It's like
We
a
have
mini. It's like 20 pounds.
Oh my gosh, golden doodles are
I
adorable.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Not as
The-
adorable as Cavalier. I mean, I'm a little
Dude, yours is
biased.
super cute.
Well, the difference with a Cavapoo is you get all the hypoallergenics, like not the
Yep.
hair.
Yeah.
So
Same with the golden doodles. They inherit all of the poodle
Mhm.
hypoallergenics, non-shedding, blah blah blah, and then they get the personality of a golden retriever, just like very attached,
yeah,
pretty smart, but like also pretty playful.
I love it.
Mhm.
Yep. I'll have to send you a picture, but one thing I will say, and then we will move on to more important things, is we have a P stocking. So all of the letters have an initial on them. So we've had Pepper, who is our greyhound that passed away. Then we have Peanut. And so like they just kind of shared a stocking and it worked out because they both had a P name. So we decided that they have to be a P name and we want to stick with the food. So we either have pickles or peaches or pancake. Those
That's
are our
awesome.
options.
Pancake. Oh, I like that.
That's what Henry liked. Okay, we will start. Let me cue up the music. Okay, lovely. I was like, what are we talking about? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Compressed FM, a podcast all about web design and development with a little bit of zest. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about AI-powered documentation and developer productivity in 2026 with our good friend, Chris Nowicki.
Hey.
Web development and design, who would have guessed? Well, we can do them both, even add a little zest. So turn up the volume, get ready for the best. Let's get it started in this episode of Compressed.
Hello, my name is Amy Dutton, and I am a senior design engineer at Cloudflare.
Hey y'all, my name is Brad Garapi. I'm a senior front-end developer at Cloudflare. We're
And as I men-
coworkers, and
Yeah.
we've got Chris with us. Long
Hey,
time
y'all.
no see.
Long time no see, and I can now say I'm a developer experience engineer at Commerce. Finally
Love it.
landed my gig in
Oh.
software.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. Everybody's been
Amazing.
through job changes in the
Mhm.
past year, multiple in some cases.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, how many job changes have you guys gone through in the last
Two.
two?
Two.
I think I'm at 2 as well. If you want to
Wow.
count the Redwood JS to RWSDK transition, I got 3.
Oh, you do have 3. That's true.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been an interesting 2025, 2026, but at least I'm excited where I landed. I'm having a lot of fun. So, but what's fun is Chris and I are both working on documentation, different places.
Yes.
But that's a lot of fun. I just actually came from a docs meeting.
Nice. Now,
Mhm.
what's your role? Are you a docs writer on the team? Or are you overseeing the docs?
So they kind of have it split out to different areas, and I'm still trying to kind of get a lay of the land.
Hmm.
But my team is about kind of the experience around documentation. So right now I'm actually working on a landing page, like a microsite.
Uh,
So it's a little bit different. I've done all the design work. I'm working with somebody else that's providing all the content. And then I'll also be doing the front end
yeah.
engineer stuff. But all of our sites are built on Astro. And the cool part about working on documentation, which I'd assume it's the same for you, maybe, is that it's all open source. So not everything that we do is open source. A lot of it's proprietary, but it's pretty nice to be able to still contribute to open source and have something that other people can also contribute to.
Yeah. No, I think that's valid. I mean, we are moving away from hosting our own docs. So right now we use Nextra for our dev docs for BigCommerce. Commerce 3 product lines. We have MakeSwift. You have the BigCommerce product, which has a lot of subproducts. Then we have Feedonomics. MakeSwift uses Mintlify. BigCommerce uses Nextra, and Feedonomics uses their own platform. And so what we are doing right now is we are moving away from using self-hosted instances or Mintlify, and we're moving to a company called Fern for docs as a service, I guess you could say. So that's kind of where we're moving to for all of our documentation, and also auto SDK generation based on our API specs,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
going to be really cool.
Mhm.
And that all
That
comes
is
from the same company. It's all supplied by
Correct.
Fern.
It's all
That's
supplied by Firm. So you could do docs, you could do SDKs based on your API specs. And it's a really nice platform. And then they provide the MCP servers, they provide everything, they provide AI agents. And it's one of those things where as I was looking at it and I was talking with my team, you know, it was why would we spend all of this extra funding for additional engineers to build these things ourselves when we can have
Mhm.
it provided as a service, and we focus on the content and the
Yeah.
usability rather than engineering all these separate tools. So
Yeah, that's great. All of our stuff right now is Astro,
I love
which
Astro.
I do too. Their Starlight stuff is fantastic.
Hmm.
Just having
And you
all
can
that stuff
customize
running.
whatever you want. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
add in dynamic islands using
Yep.
whatever, framework.
Mhm.
And so it gives you a lot of customizability.
Mhm.
I think that's the only downside to going to docs as a service is you are limited. Like whether it's Mintlify or Fern or some of the others, you can do custom React components, but you can't import third-party packages. So
Mhm.
you have to work in the context of whatever that platform provides you. So I could do my own React components, do whatever the heck I wanted them, but if I need to rely on a third party, it wouldn't work. So that's the only
Yeah.
downside I think to using docs as a service, but it's a trade-off, I guess.
Everything's trade-offs.
Yes.
I want to hear about your past year, Chris, and talk about like your job transitions, how you
Yeah.
got to where you are, and what you think. Is it the right spot for you? Is it better? Is it worse?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So last time we talked was in May of 24, I think. And I was just trying to break in. I was doing the build in public thing, posting all over Twitter, going to an insane amount of conferences every year just to build those connections and those relationships, which paid off because in November of 24, This.Labs brought me on to be an engineering lead, which was a phenomenal experience. Great company, wonderful people there. But that was kind of my intro in it. And the reason why I went in as an engineering lead is because of my background in aerospace. So I kind of took my years of leadership experience. They needed an engineering lead, and so they kind of brought me in knowing that this was my first job in web development necessarily. So I'd be overseeing a team of experienced developers, but not managing them. I was managing the project and not them, and did a lot of great work on that project. It was all PHP, which was really fun. Because then that's when I started really diving into AI tooling to help me, because I'd never written a line of PHP code in my life. Maybe like 10, 15 years ago, I did a custom WordPress site once
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, I hadn't touched it in years. And this was not a standard PHP framework like, Laravel today. It was a kind of a legacy framework that this company had used. So yeah, we were able to start transitioning them and their backends to a new service, implementing some third-party stuff for them. It was great. And then I was at Render, and I met James at Render in 2023. Became friends there, and kind of we've been in contact through multiple things. And I think the last time I was on the podcast, I was doing some stuff for him for one of his projects and helping him with his community. And so we're at Render last year, and he was like, "Hey man, we're really in need of a developer documentation writer. Would you be interested?" And I definitely, it sparked interest in me at that conversation, and they were looking for someone right away. And at my role at this dot, I was doing some coding, but I was doing more project management and engineering leading than hands-on code. Maybe I did maybe like 2 PRs a week, but these were the small cleanup tickets that were kind of too small for the other senior engineers who were doing, more of the heavy integrations. So we talked about it for a bit, and 3 weeks later, I signed a contract to join BigCommerce. That's who I hired on with. And then a week later, BigCommerce announced that they were becoming Commerce. So the company name changed within a week of me joining the company, which made the onboarding really fun and interesting. And now I find myself in, I did dev documentation all the way up through November. And then we had some organizational structure and changes. And we're moving now more towards engineering, doing a bulk of the documentation writing, whereas my role has turned into more of the product manager, developer experience for documentation, along with providing AI tooling for our engineers to help write documentation for them, so they're not spending a ton of time doing it, but kind of some tooling to bring that into place. So I'm not necessarily responsible for the technical accuracy, but it's more of the usability and experience of our documentation, AI tools for our merchants and customers to be able to use inside of their IDEs or LLMs to interface with our documentation, whether that be product docs or developer docs. And I think I landed in a space that I'm not surprised, but kind of surprised, because at first I thought, man, I'm just gonna be coding out just front end all the time. But if I take a look at my professional experience, right? I had 18, 19 years in aerospace, where the first 12, 13 of those years, I wrote system admin maintenance manuals for Linux enterprise systems, then went out and trained our customers. And here I am doing documentation. So I have all this knowledge around concepts of documentation in general. Now I have this knowledge as a developer that I've gained over the past 4 years. And now those two are kind of combining into one intersection. And I kind of like it. I dig it.
Mhm.
It's a really cool. I'm finding this passion that I have I want developers to be able to use our product easy. Like, look at our docs, go, this is easy to find. It's easy to get what I need. I can integrate it with the tools that I use to help me develop faster and more efficiently. It's an exciting place to be.
I know Brad will remember this, but 2 years ago, I think that's right, we were at that conference in
Yes.
Austin, and we interviewed Shonda person after her talk.
Oh,
And one of the things that she
yes.
talked about was transferable skills. And I
skills.
absolutely love that. Yeah, because she changed from kind of this sales support role to now she's an engineer at Netflix. But it's exactly what you're talking about, how
Mhm.
for people that are wanting to transition into tech, sometimes it's like, oh, it's now a good time, but it's not like you're starting from zero. You have previous work experience that influence these mental models that you have and how you approach documentation, how you teach and how you communicate. Like all of that can contribute and actually make you a better developer and better at your job because you're bringing in that other experience with
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have, I think a lot of people trying to break in have this one track mindset of I just want to
Mhm.
write code all day long. And yes, that is a fun part of the job.
Yeah.
But I mean, even as what Brad was referring to earlier, like even him coming into 2026 and going, man, I've written code, but my agents are writing a ton of code. The environment is changing.
Mhm.
It doesn't necessarily mean that people should not. I think people should break into tech now. I think it's a great time. You just have to embrace it's a different strategy. And like you said, those transferable skills, it's really fun when you have an understanding of one thing and understanding of another, and they kind of come together.
Yeah.
And it's a unique place to be.
So when I was in college, my major, and this I feel like generally surprises people, but my major was radio, TV broadcasting. And
That does
Doesn't
not
surprise
surprise
me at
anybody.
all.
Come on,
Wow.
Oh my God.
Amy.
Wow.
My mom was like, "What? Your major was radio, TV podcast." I guess I'm on a podcast. We're doing video right now, but my point is it converges.
Yes.
That's so funny. Yeah. So it was not art. It was not development, but radio, TV broadcasting. So that's so funny, you guys.
So funny. As soon as you said that, I'm like, wow.
I love it. Well, let's see. You were talking a little bit about agents and how are you? I know you talked about kind of
Mhm.
setting up other people on your team to be able to write that. I mean, what does that tooling look like? Are you providing them with prompts? Are you providing them with agents? Are you providing them with checks to make sure that, or like a checklist? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So right now we're still in the discovery phase of what all the tools are going to look like, especially seeing what's being provided with Fern. A few things that I know that we are providing is anyone in the company should be able to contribute to our docs by using Slack integration. So in Slack, they can ping the AI assistant, hey, give them the link to where the issue is. Like the other day, I got pinged on something where something was supposed to be spelled browser and it was Bowser, some weird thing
Yeah.
like that. Like, okay, that whole process took me 15 minutes between, just making the little change, whereas an agent could have done it like that. I approved the PR and it's in, right?
Mhm.
So that's one piece. But when it comes to providing our engineers more tooling, it's a few things. It's our we are looking at using agents. We are looking at using commands and different levels of checks. So
Mhm.
providing agents I want to create a doc agent that has specific instructions, formatting, rules for when to use what type of call out, warning, info, error, something like that. I want to create an agent that helps voice the content similar so that no matter who's writing the content,
Yep.
you have a similar voice because we have English as a second language engineers who are going to be writing some content along with that. So you want to make sure that it kind of comes out in the same way. So there's that aspect of it. There's not necessarily a checklist, but then we're going to be putting in checks, checking the open API specs, make sure there's no errors, checking the MDX, making sure there's no linting errors in the MDX files, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Different commands, skills, kind of want to provide an all-in-one package where when they pull down the repository, they have everything that they need. We use Cursor, so we have an enterprise Cursor license. Really easy to be able to integrate all that in. So that's what I'm looking at right now. That's what we're planning, but I'm sure there's going to be other strategies and needs and wants. And I want our engineers to be able to contribute to that as well, going, hey, this is really going to help me out. Great. Let's put in a PR towards it. And we'll get it in. So
I would love to spend some time talking about like the choice to use Cursor versus more of like a terminal based approach. Because in my head, I kept saying, oh, I like it when the agents and AI runs in the editor because you can provide it context so much easier. I think that's the big benefit there. But then you obviously can't argue with the terminal side of things. You can just run many of them at once and switch sessions, and they become like a programmable
Mhm.
tool. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
the editor versions are still just kind of like one at a time, single track, almost limiting in a sense.
The
Um,
cursor will actually run multiple agents that looks very similar to how you do sessions. And
Really?
what's interesting, yeah, that I love about their UI, because I mean, it's a fork of VS Code. So all of them have some kind of flavor where you're like, it's kind of the same app between VS Code, Windsurf, and Cursor. Um, Zen, I get Zen and Zed mixed up.
Zen.
Zed looks kind of similar. I haven't played around with it a ton, but I really do love the Cursor UI. So one of the things that they did was you still have your main editor panel, but in the top left, there's basically like a tab where you can switch between the editor view and the agent view. And so when you go into agent, it basically makes the chat the full screen like interface that you're dealing with. And then you have basically like a queue that runs down the side of all your agents, and you can just fire those off, shoot them off, and they'll just start working in parallel to each other. You don't have to worry about it. I say you don't have to worry about it. What's interesting, I haven't built things where they're trying to work off the same file at the same time to know how that
Yeah.
works with merge conflicts. Everything that I've done, they've been in separate files or been creating files that it hasn't been an issue.
So
I
it's
don't know
like
if
you
you can speak to that,
select,
Chris.
you're selecting the agent you want to use on the side
Yeah.
and then telling it to do something, and they're
Yep.
just like asynchronously
Yep.
operating. Okay.
Or
Okay.
yeah, they're just both, they're all working in parallel. And so it just
Yeah.
runs through, and it does move a lot faster because you're not waiting for one to go and then the other and then the other.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
the
So did you guys consider those options, Chris, when you were like evaluating the tools that you were going to use?
Well, I think no, we have not considered those options yet, and you have me thinking as well. I think it's whatever. I don't necessarily have say over how engineers are going to be using these tools necessarily. It's like whatever the company is providing right now. So I think that's a part of it where now if we get to the point where we're using things like open code and stuff like that, it makes perfect sense. When it comes to the documentation aspect, ideally, it would be great, I think, for our engineers to be able to working on whatever feature they're working on in parallel. You have the doc agent updating a documentation and the docs repo specifically along. So as they make changes, it makes changes. And at the end, rather than having to, hey, doc writer, here's the PR, take a look at this and write. Like, I think that would be the ideal situation. Honestly, it's the less friction and they get done. The PR is submitted. You go and review it, and we move on with our day.
Well, it all gets bundled together, right? So that there's not this gap between the functionalities changed, but the docs haven't. It all gets merged at the same time. Plus, I'd imagine that for a reviewer coming in, it's helpful to have that documentation with it because you can see this is how it's supposed to work.
Yep.
And they can do a better job kind of testing it.
Exactly.
I haven't been able to get agents to run kind of like in watch mode like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just updating this feature, and anytime something changes, change the docs with it. You know, it's been more of like I'm telling this one to do something, and then I have to go tell this other one to do something. And so I feel like I would be repeatedly kind of telling the docs agent, hey, I just finished this feature, go do this thing. Is there a notion of like watch mode? I haven't heard anything like that. Like do this when this changes. That
I don't
could be
know.
really
There's
cool.
like a post, to me, that's like a post commit hook that you could have it run.
Yeah.
Once something's
Kind of.
been done. Yeah. Or I know that one of the companies that I worked at previously, we had a CI/CD check to see how far our progress was. And so I don't know enough about how that action was set up to know whether it's like updating it every time when something gets committed, or if it's based on like a pull request hook or something, or I guess that one, a pull request hook to say like, hey, update these stats when this runs. I guess that's not even really AI. I'm sure you could kick something off.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to like script running. Well, you would script running an agent by making a call to, you'd use an AI SDK and you would make a call. But that
Mhm.
doesn't hook
Yeah.
into your, let's say, open code config and the agents you've defined there. That would have
Mm.
to be, provider specific. Yeah. There's two
Mm.
parts to using AI. One is writing programmatic code that makes AI calls, out to
Mhm.
Anthropic or out to an AI gateway or
Yep.
something. And then there's like the using the terminals or using the editors and defining your agents there. And those two worlds, I feel like haven't come together just yet.
I have a feeling it's close though.
Yeah, I've done stuff at the end of like AI run where I'm like, no, update the README with everything that you did.
Right.
And in
Exactly.
some ways that's maybe better, which I mean would be just like the post commit hook because it's not, I don't think you want it updating as you are doing it. Just like I wouldn't update the docs as I'm doing it because stuff is
Mm.
going to change as you're working on that feature. So to me, it would make sense that you'd let the AI run the full feature, the full feature set. And then at the end, they'd come in and update the docs or the README or whatever based on all those changes. That way it gives the freedom because otherwise you're also going to waste a bunch of tokens trying to update that every time they're making changes.
Yep.
So one thing that I experimented with this weekend, is this going to mess up your flow, Brad? If I talk about Ralph?
No.
Okay.
No.
One of
go
the things
for it.
that I experimented with this weekend was Ralph. Chris, have you heard about this?
I have not heard. Oh, wait. Is this where there's a lot of images about Ralph from
Yeah. The
Simpsons?
Ralph
Simpsons?
Wiggum.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, at its simplest form, it's a for loop, which sounds ridiculous that people are that excited about a for loop. But the thing is, with Opus 4.5, it's finally gotten to the point where you can just have a for loop kind of running. So in the past, when you've wanted to implement a multiple phase feature set, you're
Yeah.
having to like say inject something chronologically of like, oh, do this task and then this task and kind of figure it out. But with Ralph, it's running a loop to be able to say, okay, this is the ticket I'm going to grab in that feature set. And then it'll work on it. And then it'll come back and say, okay, now this is the ticket I'm going to grab. And it's just kind of going and evaluating which ticket it should grab each time instead of trying to go through it in a linear, like chronological progression. Which is really how developers work, right? You might have a project manager that would say, hey, you should probably work on this task before this one.
Right.
But the kind of passing that off to an LLM or an AI task to be able to do all that for you is pretty cool. So I have been working on some podcasting tools for Brad and I to use on the back end and had started an auth functionality. This is using React Router 7 and started some auth functionality, but hadn't completed it yet. And so I was like, well, I don't want to really write. I'm kind of done. I've done the part that I wanted to do. I want to move on. And so I was like, I'm going to test out this feature with Ralph and see if I can finish out the stuff that's missing, get it to kind of see what I have, and then extend it out. So the thing that makes it work really well is when you have a PRD which stands for product
Requirement
requirements document. I was like, why did I have a brain fart? But you have it like well defined within the PRD of what should happen. And so I worked with AI to really refine all this. And then you have it generate a JSON file based on that markdown file so that it can run that loop on your PRD. And I was like, I'm going to just knock this out, all the requirements before we go out to dinner. That way it can run while I'm gone and I come back and it's ready.
Yes.
So I worked on it, got it done, and then hit enter. I ended up just trying to run it in Cursor instead of trying to do fancy things, get open code and Claude code, all that stuff. I was just like, I'll just send it over to Cursor.
Your
No.
Your
Okay,
camera.
I'm going to switch cameras. So hold on. We'll do the terrible camera because then there won't be. Okay, perfect. It's crazy what a difference the other camera makes.
It is.
So anyways, I just set it to run. I ran it in Cursor and I didn't even get to go to dinner. It was like done in 10 minutes. And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
what in the world? So I still haven't gone through and reviewed everything, but it was so cool just to hit like run and it just goes. So
And so
insane.
basically every loop, it looks at the PRD, like the JSON that it output from the PRD. And I noticed that, like I was watching Matt Pocock's videos on this, and it's
Yeah, I
like
watched that
each
one
one
too.
just basically has a completed flag
Yeah.
and it just iterates. And every loop, you just tell the AI, look at the PRD, determine what the next best one is to work on
Yeah.
because you don't want to work top to bottom. It's up to you, AI, to figure it out.
Mhm.
It picks one, goes, whatever, validates, looks at the browser, and then does it again, right? That's the idea
Yeah.
until you either have
Yeah,
what
it was
max
like
number
10
of
minutes.
iterations or did it finish?
It finished. And I
Is it-
went through and I tested, like I haven't checked all the code, but I like was clicking through it and I was like, it works. Like, this
Dude.
is amazing. The thing is,
That's
I have to
insane.
check because I was like going into the cursor settings, like, okay, how much money, how many tokens did this use? I
What'd it
think
cost?
it ended up being about $10.
Okay.
With some of
$1
the
a
other,
minute.
but that's also including all the setup that I did. So I ran a bunch of setup beforehand before I even got Ralph. Like I was setting up a few skills, a few commands, so that it's not an accurate, like this set costs $10. I spent $10 that day trying to do everything. But I mean, I didn't have to do any auth. Amazing.
What's
And how long would that have taken a developer? At least half a day, if not a full day, to finish. I mean, because I'm talking about role-based access. I'm talking
Wow.
about, all the logout stuff. It set all that stuff up.
Wow. I feel like I spend about $10 a day, according to Open Code, on what I do at work.
So that's
Does anybody else have
$300 ish. I mean, whatever on the weekends.
on the weekends? Like, does anybody else have an idea of what they spend? You said off that feature alone was $10.
Yeah, probably about
Ish?
or ish. The other thing that's interesting about Cursor though is you get unlimited autocomplete. So that doesn't count.
Mm.
Right.
Like if you can use AI without using money. It's like
Right.
when you just have it do these runs is when it costs stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure either because I don't think I've used. I don't even know if we have API keys covered by the company yet. Like they gave us Claude, so I use whatever agent in Claude that is available, or not in Claude, in
Cursor. I don't know if you have to have special access to this, but you can log into your Cursor like website panel and it will tell you your usage and how much it costs.
I'm gonna have to go
for
look at that
everything.
because I mean I use Cursor a ton,
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
But I'll have to go and look. I'll go and look, see if I could do that. But it's when you so I have a question, and hopefully this doesn't derail things. Where do you go for your tokens? Like, are you purchasing them independently? Are you going to one of those like token providers, where they provide you all of the latest models for one cost? Like, what do you where are you going?
So
I feel like
I
at this
have
point,
okay.
I'd go to Anthropic.
Yeah.
I would,
I-
but I've got work stuff, but
I
that's what I
have
would choose.
I have a Claude subscription. So it's like $20 a month and you can connect that to Claude Code. So it will, I don't know what the threshold is for that, but I'm only paying the $20 a month plan. And that's nice because I get all the chat stuff. With OpenAI, I'm paying for ChatGPT. So I'm paying $20 a month there as well. But you have to pay extra there for your
the
API stuff.
usage. Yeah.
And I have only spent probably about $10 a quarter there.
Okay.
I'm not doing heavy runs though. But it is a little bit easier to kind of, maybe not easier, but I watch that a little bit more carefully. And then I'm trying to think, have you used Gemini at all, Brad?
Yeah, I've used the work Gemini stuff a little bit,
Okay.
mostly for like media generation.
Yeah. And I will say when I've used Cursor for personal usage, right now I have it set on auto.
Yeah.
Opus 4.5 is my favorite, but I
Yeah.
just figured in terms of what I'm trying to do, if it can be a little bit smarter about my token usage.
Yeah.
And it can pick the model. There's models that are free. There's also been models that have running holiday deals. So some of that is helpful too. But I'm curious, like long term, what this will mean, because I know a lot of the tokens are VC subsidized and they're just trying to feed the models right now. Like what happens? Talk about pay to play. What happens when that goes
Yeah.
away and everybody has to pay for it out of pocket? I don't know.
I feel like model choice and token cost is going to be one of those things that like eventually falls to zero. You know what I mean? This is like a limitation today, but that's going to be the thing that just keeps decreasing and decreasing and
Yeah, I
decreasing
don't
over
know.
time.
The doomsday people talk about how terrible AI is for the environment and the gallons of water and all the things.
I
I
wonder if
still
we're
don't
gonna
get that.
find.
Water's a renewable resource.
I know. I wonder if we're gonna
I
find
don't know.
standardized pricing, down the road of like, regardless of who you're at, like you can choose a
Mhm.
model, but it's gonna be a standardized pricing. I mean, I don't know if that's valid or not. I mean, you think
Mhm.
about streaming services on TV, right? And you got 25
Mhm.
million streaming services at different costs, and you're going for who provides the best content for what. So I don't know if that would actually happen, but yeah.
Yeah, it's an
I will
interesting
say
question.
I did just cancel GitHub Copilot the other day.
You
Mm.
Just
Oh, no.
I was on the $10 a month plan.
I
It
have
was
that too.
good, but like I think the Opus model is better.
Mhm.
And again, the model stuff isn't going to matter in the future.
I
But like,
think though,
I didn't
one
use
of
it.
the announcements that they made at GitHub Universe is you can pick which model you want. You
Mhm.
can pick your own model. And I will say one of my favorite features with Raycast is you can just fire off a prompt in Raycast, point it at a repo, and it'll run. So like that
Yep.
was really
Ooh,
helpful.
that's cool.
This is gonna sound like a Debbie Downer, but it was really helpful on my website when I was like, "Oh, my dog died." So I just like removed Pepper from my
Oh no.
bio.
Oh,
So, but just things like that, or update the kids' ages. I go ahead and make that public. But just stuff like that where I'm like, it's what you were talking about, browser versus Bowser. It's
Mhm.
great just to be able to kick
Little
it off
things like
and
that
start
where it's
running.
like it takes, it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't really have to check it. I can just even look in GitHub and be like, yeah, that looks great. By check it, I mean check out the code, like read through everything. It's just nice because you can use the
Oh yeah.
in-browser stuff.
Yeah, we have
So
GitHub Copilot at work. So I
yeah,
use that just to summarize. Like when I'm doing release notes, I use it
PRs
to just
and yeah,
summarizes all the PRs that have been merged in the last X amount of time, and
so
does great.
lovely. So Brad's been going deep on open code.
Yes. I want to hear, you've been going deep on open code. What is it about open code that is different, let's say, from the Claude code and the CLI? Like what is the trade-off there? Like why I'm just curious.
so I don't have a ton of Cloud Code experience. I like booted up and ran it for just a little bit. But I think the main difference is that number one, you can use any provider you want, so you
Mhm.
can connect it with anything. Number two, open code is built for extensibility. Like
Mm,
basically, they have a hierarchy of 10 different config file locations that they read. So you can do it on like a global level, a per project, different folders in the projects. So it's very configurable. And then you can define all of your own custom rules, agents, tools, commands, skills, and plugins. And the difference between those is it's very confusing. Um, the main difference from what I'm seeing in these is how they're invoked. Some of these things are invoked by the user. So like the slash commands are invoked by the user. So if I have a
mm,
slash command for slash commit and slash PR, and it just like knows what I wrote and it commits it and follows our format, and slash PR, same thing. It knows the changes that are there, follows our PR templates, automatically grabs reviewers that are relevant, and then puts it there. Those are user invoked, but they run in a non-deterministic way. They still use AI
mm,
to determine the output. Some of these other things, though, like skills, are like deterministic outputs, or maybe it's tools. I get confused every time. Some of these are like deterministic outputs. It's like actual code that you write, but that code is made available to any agent that's running. And if that agent deems that it's appropriate to use that tool or skill, it will execute that code. So those are the big differences are like how it's invoked versus like if it's deterministic.
mm.
I think you please correct me if I'm wrong. I think open code and Claude code all use AMP code under the hood. Like I
Okay.
feel like they're starting to standardize some of that stuff because when I was looking at Ralph, if you look at documentation, it suggests that you use, I think, open code or Claude code. And so I was trying to do some stuff within Cursor. Like if I want you to run in Cursor, how does this work? And so anyways, that could be wrong. You can yell at me on social. But I was like trying to figure out like kind of what are the differences, what are the nuances. I do know if you're trying to this is a helpful resource if you are working with other people on different systems. So Brad loves OpenCode, Chris loves Cursor, and then I'm right now using Windsurf for work. So if we all have those different setups, there is a repo called RuleSync, and I can include a link to that.
Yeah.
What that does is that allows you to write one definition of your rules, and then you run like an npm command. You say npm RuleSync, and what it does is it will generate a folder for each of those things. It'll generate one for
Brilliant.
Windsurf, for Cursor, and it keeps everything in sync with just that one rule set. And so what you would do within your repo is you would put, say, the Cursor folder in a get ignore. You would put the Windsurf folder in your get ignore. All the generated folders go there so that you're not trying to maintain all these different instances of the rules. You just commit that RuleSync folder. And then anytime somebody starts up a new project, as part of the setup instructions, you say run npm RuleSync.
That is
Cool.
brilliant.
Lovely.
Well, we've talked about AI tools to death. Chris,
Can
you
you
came to the show today with another tool you've been really hyped about, and I've never heard about it.
Yes. Okay.
Tell us about it.
All right. So I came across this tool browsing, I don't know what it was, Twitter and whatnot. And I even reached out to Nick Taylor. I'm like, hey, you need to include this in your one tip a week newsletter. And he's like, bro, it's coming out in 2 weeks. So, but it's called Mole. Failed to post. Oh, I don't know why it failed to post.
Oh, you might not have.
Okay.
You might not have permission.
Here, I'll post it here and you can post it. So it's called Mole Clean Your Mac. And it lives in the command line. It is an open source tool that it allowed me to get rid of my Clean My Mac subscription. It does everything Clean My Mac does for the most part, except for duplicate files. But you can clean all of the cache in your Mac, all the things that you normally clean. It gives you a command to link sudo to your fingerprints, or if it needs that. You can uninstall applications. And when it does the cleanup, it also goes in and checks your brew, your if you're using Homebrew, it checks your Homebrew cache and all that sort of stuff. Really been geeking out on this and playing around with it on the command line. Kind of looked at what they're doing for security. Some people fork it and then customize it even more to do more things. I'm not at that level yet, but for an open source tool that does what Clean My Mac does, and it lives in the command line, for a lot of us who are living in the command line, I think it's great. So highly recommend you all check it out if you want to play around with something, because it's a cool little tool.
So how much were you able to delete?
My first thing because on my work computer, I don't have Clean My Mac on my work computer. So when I ran it, it was like 9 gigabytes.
Lovely.
I got rid of it.
I must be like a very organized person, and I do consider myself that. But I never run any of these cleanup tools.
I'm organized as well, but it will also take care of all the caching. Or if you have uninstalled files or applications, a lot of times they will have these support files, application support. They'll have these files that linger around. And so Clean My Mac will take care of a lot of that stuff. Yeah. So that is nice. I also have you used Daisy UI? Oh,
I have not.
No,
Daisy UI.
No, Daisy UI is I'm thinking the wrong thing. What is it? Shoot. It is called Daisy though. Yeah, it's just Daisy. Hold on. I have it on my computer.
Daisy Disk.
Daisy Disk. Thank you.
Daisy Disk.
Daisy Disk is good. Because what it'll do is it'll go through and figure out where your largest files are. Ooh. And so I've used this before if things start to get crazy, to be like, what is causing so many problems? Where are all my files? So it's one thing to be organized, but it's another thing to know how large are they? What's taking up all the space? Mm-hmm. So I've done this to get rid of some legacy files, but also if you've used any of the Adobe design stuff, they'll put in a new application every year. And so I went in one year and I was like, I have 3 different versions of Photoshop running. Let's clean out that mess.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But yeah, that's the tool I'm geeking out on. I think Brad is getting ready to geek out on some Raspberry Pi stuff.
Have you done more?
I've got no, I haven't. I haven't. I finished reading a book and I'm finishing Metroid Prime. After that, the first thing that's happening is LEDs, Raspberry Pis, all this kind of stuff.
You know what I would love to do, but I probably never will, is people that like rig up their Christmas lights to songs. I think that's like
Oh,
one of the coolest things. You held up LED lights with your Raspberry Pi. I was
yeah.
like, that would be fun. Fun
These
project.
came from like some dinky little set that the kids got for Christmas, but like I didn't use all of them. I like lined their
Mhm.
beds with it and stuff. And it's got this connector. And so like I have a feeling this will fit exactly on a header on the Pi and I
Yeah.
can program them. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm hanging on
very
to them. Like still good stuff in there.
Where did you put it on your kid's bed?
Like around
Did
the
you-
bottom and around the
you did?
frame. And so they
the
like
frame.
when they
Fun.
can turn on the lights in their room.
That's
and then
awesome.
It's like glows like gamer rooms now.
Oh, they
Yeah,
bet you
Isaac
they
had
love that.
a bunk bed and it had like a couch underneath, but we took the
Mm.
couch out so it kind of had a loft area. And we put LED lights underneath. And then
Yes.
recently we kind of did a little musical chairs with furniture and arrangements and everything. So Emma got Isaac's bed and we just brought the single off the top and put it on the bottom. Like, so she just, it's just a single bed. We left all the lights underneath. So it looks like she has a hover bed. It's just
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Cool.
disco.
I wish
So
they had
that's
the
why
same when I was a kid.
That's why I was asking because I've teased her about the hover bed.
Same setup in my son's room. He's got a bunk bed, but we've got mattresses on top and bottom,
Yeah.
but we lined like the top and the bottom. So it is like a
Fun.
spaceship pretty much now.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have a Raspberry Pi, but I turned it into a Retro Pi and got like a
Gaming.
Super
Nice.
Nintendo enclosure looking box.
Those
for it.
things are so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I had a Raspberry Pi and I set up a Pi hole with it, which is awesome for, wanting to get rid of ads. And then recently I came across a project where you can run Pi hole and access it anywhere when you travel so that you still get the ad blocking. But I don't have that anymore, but I do have a Synology NAS with 14 terabytes on
Yep.
it. So I'm
what I have.
thinking I may put in a VM on there and you can do
Yeah.
a Pi-hole VM. And I'm thinking about, playing around with a few things there.
our good
What-
friends at the Syntax podcast did a recent like NAS update.
I saw that.
Episode.
It was
I
really
listened
good.
to it. Yeah. And so that was kind of cool to hear Scott talk about using Cloudflare Tunnel to be
Mhm.
able to access
Yep.
his remotely.
Yep.
I want to host my website on my Pi and just tunnel it. And I just think that's cool. To like, you just like label it and just be like, bradgarrity.com. It's sitting right
right
here.
there.
This is it. Yeah.
It's
It's
that's-
like-
I think that's so
You
cool.
go to it and it's coming from there.
Yeah.
Oh man. So my first job, this is when I was in high school. I was answering the phone for an agency, and those were the days where you had your own servers. And anytime it rains, the electricity in the building would go out.
Yep.
And so we would inevitably get tons of phone calls like, hey, my website's down whenever we had a storm come through. And of course, I was the one that had to answer the phone. But that's what it reminds me of. I'm like, man, Brad, if
Yeah.
you get a snowstorm in
storm.
Austin.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's just
Power.
getting cold. It doesn't get cold in Austin until like January, February. And like the cold is just hitting. And I've got PTSD from that snowvid like
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple years ago.
I remember that.
It was terrible. We were on water boil. We had no power. What else? Everything was iced in. Like it was terrible. My Achilles was torn at the time, so I could barely
Oh my
walk. Like
goodness.
it was just terrible.
That is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, that
It's
does
been cold
sound-
here in Atlanta. It was about 29 degrees this morning. So little
Is it
bit
right now?
freezing.
I'm at 53.
That's
Okay,
nice.
that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what are we at right now?
I survived a polar vortex in Chicago, so like part of me is like, I can do anything. It was negative 20.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah,
That is cold.
yeah, it was. Well, let's migrate into picks and plugs, even though we kind of picked a few things and plugged a few things if you have anything else. So picks is usually something that we enjoy, something that we bought recently. And plug is just usually our stuff. If you built something cool, want to share it, send some traffic that way. Brad, do you have any picks and plugs?
I will pick these RC cars. Super cool. They're like $150. My son is really into them. All I do is fix them. On this one, I've replaced the front shocks after he like completely like jammed up the front. I've done like servo arm replacements, which is like on the inside, which actually controls the steering right
Oh, that's
there.
cool.
So one of my goals this year is to like mess with more physical things, and I've been taking these on as like little projects. So like, okay, Justin, if you're gonna keep breaking these, I'll make sure they all get fixed. So this one's called the Arma Typhon. He's got another one called the Arma Mojave, and my dad has one called the Traxxas Slash, which is actually like a lot bigger. Yeah, we've just been really into it as a family, and it's been a lot of fun. And I guess I'll pick one more thing because I see all your Lego back there. My son has got a bunch of sets for Christmas, and I've been helping him put them together. Just Lego's awesome.
Fun.
This is
Lego
one
so
part.
cool.
One part of a
So
very big
cool.
Donkey Kong set, 1,200 pieces, but
Nice.
this is like his little airplane.
Oh, that's
Do you
so
guys have all
cool.
the Mario
Here's the dude.
stuff?
Oh yeah, all of this
Yeah.
plays with the Mario stuff. So like,
Yep.
Yeah.
like whatever, they can stand on here, and like
Mhm.
this part makes noise, and that part makes noise. All that stuff. It's really
Ha-
cool.
Did-
Have you
Did
seen
you-
the Lego Smart Bricks that are coming
Yeah,
out?
that's what I was gonna say.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
What?
my gosh, look up
Yeah.
Lego Smart Bricks.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where like the first set that's coming out with them is going to be a Star Wars set.
Yeah.
And it's supposed
Oh
to
my
be
God.
Luke and Darth Vader, and when they come close to each other, it has context of one another, and it does like different reactions, and
So cool.
it's going to be so crazy. And you can buy them independently too.
So sick. Oh, I thought they were like Lego can get expensive. And
I
so I
know.
was like scared to see the price on the first set. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be like easily over 100. Not bad, like
No,
80 and 90. It's up there,
Yeah.
but it didn't cross the $100 threshold. So
no, it's
I
pretty
have
cool.
I have a friend that is like Lego. It is his retirement plan.
that's
But
what I
when-
was saying to Gabby
Yes.
yesterday. That's what I wanted. Just keep your hands busy. Keep your mind going. Build
Well,
Lego.
Brad, you'd appreciate this because I know you love a good spreadsheet. But he
Yes, I
has
do.
this massive spreadsheet of all the sets that his kids have had over the years and how much they cost and how much they're running for now. And
my
like
God.
he was showing me all these sites that pull in all the data, and it's about a 20%. I was so surprised. It's like over time, like a 20% increase.
Is this
in
if you
value.
keep them in the package or if once they're built?
Well, he has different ones where it's like sometimes I think he'll buy a set being like, okay, I'm going to save it and resell it. But like stuff that his kids have done over the years, I think he's just tried to keep it in good condition. And like everything is still grouped together and has all the parts. If you guys have been to Magnolia Conference, the organizer from the conference, she also has a side business with her husband where they will create like find replacement bricks or clean up different sets that they find online and resell them. So it is kind of crazy just how there's a whole economy around Lego.
Legos. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Legos. I still have a few to build. I have all Star Wars Legos though. So the entire cabinet behind
Very
me
cool.
to the right, Star Wars.
Do you
My
collect the
entire-
helmet?
Only Star
I
Wars.
do.
You do? Do you have all
No,
of them?
no, but at the top there, at the top shelf, it's blurry. But I have Hey from
Yes.
my favorite bird ever, and then I have Wally and Eve from
Uh-huh.
from that, and then I have Groot.
Fun.
So I'm starting to collect other things that are nostalgic, like for
Okay.
me, like things that I like, you know.
So
I got
did you have all the helmets? That's what I'm
I'm close. I'm close.
really. So
Mhm.
I have bought them for my husband. He has not worked them, which I'm like, now they're probably worth more unboxed. But there's only 2 that we don't have, and some of it's just because they're so expensive. Like
They are.
came out before I started, so we don't have the TIE Fighter
Yep.
and the Stormtrooper. 'Cause
Yep.
those
I
are
have
both like 500 and I think like 300.
I have the Stormtrooper. I'm looking
Cute.
for the next one I need to get is Princess. I'm missing Princess Leia when
Mm.
she has when she's going in.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So
it's fun.
cool.
Uh,
Do you have a different Brad still has to give a plug.
yeah.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter, x.com/BradGarapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say your blog is good too. You just posted your recap and your goals.
That was a good recap. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
I want to put another post up about how I set up my shared family calendars. It's like nothing technically crazy, but like I had to think about it for a while. If they lived in Apple or did they live in Google, and how did you create the kids' accounts and how does it all work? And
Mhm.
I feel like there was enough thought put into it that it justifies just like writing it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that.
So if there's going to be someone else in the world who's going to want to know how to do it, and
Wanna
you're
know.
going to provide them the answer.
Yeah.
My plug is going to be the show Task on HBO Max with Mark.
Okay.
Outside of the little thing that I provided, it has become one of our favorite TV shows because it's super intriguing. It's a little violent, but I mean, overall, it's a great show with a hopeful ending, meaning it doesn't end and you don't walk away being super depressed. So it's a great crime thriller series that is definitely worth the watch. And then my plug is just follow me on Twitter. I am Wix at IAMWIX, and you can see me on Twitter.
Lovely. So I'm gonna take a note from you, Chris, and I'm also going to pick a television show. So Henry's is my husband. His favorite, maybe all time TV show that we've watched is called The Night Manager, and it came out in 2016, season 1. You can check it out on Amazon Prime. It has Tom Hiddleston. Hiddleston. Yes, Hiddleston. He's the main character. It also has Hugh Laurie, so House. It also has Elizabeth Debicki, who was from The Crown, if you've seen that. So it came out in 2016 for season 1, and they just released season 2 like 2 days ago. So I will put a disclaimer. We haven't seen season 2, but season 1 was fantastic. Basically, Tom is his character. He is a night manager at a hotel, and he unknowingly kind of witnesses some arms deal trading and gets recruited by MI5 to like be part of all this intelligence, and he gets kind of swooped up in all of it. So the cinematography is fantastic. The storytelling is brilliant. It's so good. So we are looking forward to watching season 2.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch that now. We've seen previews of that, and I think now that is my tipping point to go and watch it.
Good. It is so good. Like I said, it's on Prime. And then for my plug, oh goodness, what should I plug? I'm going to plug... Oh, I haven't posted on Twitter in a long time. We'll do Twitter or X. Follow me on X. My handle is self-teach-me. Sweet. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. Jordan, it was good to see you in the chat again. Appreciate your commentary on on your Cloud Code experience. Oh man, we need to have Jordan on.
We should have Jordan on.
Yeah.
Another. I feel like he's had a bunch of job changes too, and now he's at
Yeah.
Cloudflare. So, what happened in 2025? Holy cow,
I
man!
know, right?
It was a whirlwind of a
Tech
year.
blew up.
Tech blew up. We all needed therapy.
I'm ready
was
for some
great.
stability.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you were listening after the fact on your podcatcher of choice, please leave a rating and review. It helps us find sponsors and other guests, and helps other viewers find, or listeners find, the podcast. So for now, that's all we've got. I'm going to go ahead and end it since we are going a little long today. So easy with when you have your friends on.
This is so fun. I love hanging out with y'all and doing this. This is just talking about tech and stuff. This is so fun.
Lovely.
Loved it.
All right.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Any